Alright, I got the orange one to stop leaking. It was the gasket on the seat. It looked good, but it was so dry rotted once I touched it, it fell apart. Now I'm working on the leaky fuel shutoff valve for Frankenstein. And I've done that one 3 times. And the same thing happens every time. The little inserts that are supposed to stay in the tank let go of the tank before the screw lets go. So what I do is I take the impact and I just sit and I just hold the trigger until it gets heated up. And then what I have the screwdriver in here prying out, so when it heats up in there, it'll actually pull the whole insert out. I mean, this is, like I said, this has happened on every one I've changed. They actually use Loctite on these. I don't understand why, because that is more than likely what's causing this. But then I just put this in a vise, clamp her down good, get the bolts to come out, and I fill that with JB Weld, and screw the bolts back into the inserts, most of the way, so that JB Weld doesn't get up inside of the insert there. And I just hammer them back in. But you got to make sure you actually recess it a little bit. The first time I did this, I put them flush, and then it doesn't actually pull tight enough to seal up with that gasket on the bottom. I have a new one. It's some one off Amazon. They aren't perfect. The worst thing that's going to happen is if you compare on the switch will last longer. You won't have as much of a reserve for mileage. Otherwise, they work. So, yeah, I got one more insert to get off. Like I said, I'm going to fill them holes with JB Weld, thread the screws back into the inserts once I clean them up, recess them a little bit, let it set for at least an hour. I'm in no hurry. I'm just going to let it sit all day, and then you should be good. Doing that, I haven't had any issues. But this, first time it happened, I thought these would thread out, but I tried with a monster pipe wrench, and I couldn't get it to come out. So this was quick, easy.